Here it is. Final version, clean. Every shinobi in the Hidden Leaf wears this red spiral on their back. It's a symbol of friendship, a mark of an ancient alliance. But have you ever wondered why the clan that gave the leaf its most iconic symbol doesn't exist anymore? The Uzumaki weren't just strong. They were a biological anomaly. They had life forces so massive they could survive having a tailed beast ripped out of them. They were the masters of sealing jutsu, the only power capable of bringing gods to their knees. And that is exactly why they had to die. This wasn't a war, it was a coordinated, global execution. Today we're uncovering the hidden truth of the night the land of whirlpools fell. To understand the massacre, you have to understand the fear. The Uzumaki lived on a tiny island, but their influence reached every corner of the shinobi world. Their chakra was so dense they could survive wounds that would kill any other ninja instantly. They didn't just heal, they refused to die. And their sealing jutsu, they didn't just use it to fight, they used it to control the afterlife. The Reaper Death Seal, the 8 trigrams, techniques so advanced that even the greatest Kage studied them and still couldn't fully understand them. But the most terrifying thing about the Uzumaki wasn't their power, it was their alliance. They stood with the Senju, and as long as those two clans stood together, the rest of the world had no answer, no strategy, no hope. So they made one. It wasn't one village that attacked. It was a meeting. Several nations sat in a room together and made a decision. The Uzumaki had to disappear. Not be defeated. Not be conquered. Disappear. And they moved fast. Before the Uzumaki even knew what was coming, the island was surrounded. But here's what's strange. For a clan this powerful, masters of sealing, impossible to kill, the battle was over quickly. Too quickly, which means one of two things. Either the Uzumaki were betrayed from the inside, or someone made sure they couldn't fight back. That answer was never given in the show. And that silence is the darkest part of this story. The village burned, the sealing scrolls burned, everything burned. But they made one mistake. They didn't finish the job. A few escaped. Kushina was sent to the leaf before the attack. Nagato ended up in the rain. Karen was lost in the grass, scattered, alone, cut off from everything they knew, but every single one of them changed the world. Nagato used his Uzumaki life force to wield the Rinnegan, and Madara chose him specifically because of that bloodline. Even the greatest villain in shinobi history needed an Uzumaki to execute his plan. Kushina held the 9 tails inside her for decades without breaking. Naruto carried their legacy to the end and became the man who saved the entire shinobi world. Think about that. The nations came together to erase one clan from history, and that clan's bloodline ended up sitting at the center of every major event that followed. They didn't just survive the massacre, they outlasted everyone who ordered it. The Uzumaki were destroyed because they were too powerful to be controlled. But the real lesson isn't about their strength. It's about what happens when the world tries to silence something it doesn't understand. They burned the village, they scattered the survivors, they erased the name from the maps, and still, the spiral ended up on the back of every single Konoha shinobi. You can't kill what was already woven into everything.